Good morning. I'm coming in a different location. I'm about to go into work. But I came today because lately I've been watching this show on Netflix and it's called The Layover. I forgot the guy's name, but he's a chef, I believe. But it's like I guess you could say it's kind of like a reality show, but he pretty much goes to different he travels to different places and he eats different cuisine based off of that culture. Like he'll go to London or Miami, New York, Hong Kong. He goes to all kind of places around the world. And one thing that I love is I love travel and I love food. I love the beauty of food, and it's very creative and spiritual thing to me. Um, so putting that together on a show, and then being able to, not only does he go there to eat the different foods, the best foods that they have in that particular area, but he also like you learn a little bit about their culture. He speaks to, sometimes he has like little clips where he speaks to different locals or people who may have lived there for a long time. So it just gives you a little insight on different cultures around the world. And one thing that it stood out to me is because, in America, we live in a land of I feel like, access. Like, everything is extra, supersized, big, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of interesting how when you go to places like when I was one of my favorite ones that I watched so far was Hong Kong. And Asians, just generally speaking, they're not overweight and they tend to live very long lives. And they eat meat, they eat pasta, they eat noodles, they eat all of that. But they tend to live very long lives and not be overweight. But when you see how they eat, I mean, when you look at all the other cultures and you see how they eat, their food is more authentic, meaning like they use a lot of fresh produce. Um, they use a lot of fresh produce. And one thing that stood out is when the guy went to Rome and they had pizza. He was eating all these different kinds of pizzas. The pizza that he was eating was interesting because it was nothing like, of course, what we have here in America. It was Everything was very fresh, extremely fresh, and they put a lot of emphasis, even though, of course, they still had cheese on it and whatever like that, which I don't eat anymore. But even though they still had, like meat on it or like cheese, dairy, whatever, they put a lot of emphasis on the having fresh produce. Like they had a lot of pizza, like the restaurant he went to, they had a lot of pizza with like vegetables on it. It just looked really healthy compared to what we have here in America. It's just a different insight. And one thing that I observed when me and my husband went to Pittsburgh over the Thanksgiving holiday, and we, of course, because we're eating more raw, we can't just like go to a food court or whatever, or just to stop and pick up some food. We have to prepare. We have to make our own food. So of course we brought our own food and we were eating it in the rest stop area. And one thing that I observed is that like there was two Asian families eating, and it was one of them. It was a big, nice sized family, and they brought their own food. They had their noodles. I don't know if they had meat, but I know they had a big bowl of noodles, and they had their plates, and they were like, you know, eating their food. I just thought that stood out to me, and I saw another Asian family. They had brought some food too, but everybody else was eating in the food court. It's just stuff like that. Just makes me think about how even though it makes me think about cultures and how they eat. And that's just something that I want to bring up really quick. I want to go more into detail, but I have to go to work. So I'll talk to you guys later, and thank you for watching. Bye.